Hey guys, what is up? It's Mark again here and welcome back to my channel. So if you remember in my last video, I asked you guys to drop some comments down below as to any questions regarding filmmaking. So yeah, so let's go through some comments and let's see what you guys asked. There are a few comments down here. So the first one was from Jethro Dan Burcao, and Renata Limarzi asked, which editing software do I use? So what software do I use to edit my videos? So I used to use an app or a software called Sony Vegas Pro, but then it wasn't really doing the job. It wasn't really cutting it. So last year I started Adobe Premiere Pro. So it's fantastic. It is an amazing software that is highly recommended for editing professionally. So this software will really get you going when it comes to videography. And there's one more app that I would recommend if you're editing using your phone. So there's an app called KineMaster, which is available on both Android and iOS. For iOS, I think you really need to pay for it, but for Android, there are many ways to get it for free. So yeah, so the editing software that I use mainly is Adobe Premiere Pro on my PC, and if I'm editing on my phone, and when I'm editing on my phone, I usually use KineMaster. Okay, so the next question is from Mac Florendo and David Bleasby. Fred Flintstone. Sorry, Dave. So they both asked something specific. So it is about lighting. So in my opinion, lighting is very important. You just don't know what it can do to make your videos look so good. So most people think that you need a camera like this, like a GH5 with an 18-35 1.8 lens. No, you don't. But of course, I love my GH5. Let's not try to hurt my GH5's feelings. Wait, I shouldn't be saying that because I love cameras. Wait. Let's rephrase that. It's good to have a good camera, but it's better to have good lighting on top of that good camera. So let me show you what I mean. So in this situation, I'm basically just using this one. Wait, let me get this out of the tripod. So this is just basically my light right now. It's a window. So you can already improve your videos just by going close to a window. So look at this. Look how clear that is. Like it automatically went to like looking like a 720p video to a 4K video. Look at that. You can even create different shadows if the way you position the window, not position the window, like the way you reposition yourself. So if I move like here, it gets a little bit dark. If I move here, it gets to look like a flat lighting style. And if I move here, it gets a little bit better, wherein the shadow part is on my right side and the highlight side is on my left side. So yeah, lighting can really like spice up the quality of your videos. Okay, so let's put this back onto the tripod. Not really a tripod, but I'm basically using this. It's like an arm attached to my desk. Okay, so let me show you really quick what my usual lighting setup would look like. So right now, like what I said, I'm using the window light to light up my face. So let's slowly bring in some lights and let's see what the difference is. So first, let's switch on my key light. If I switch on my key light, as you can see, it's super bright, so I have to bring down my ISO. Okay, that's looking a lot better. What do you guys think? I'm adjusting it as we speak. There, I think that's good. Okay, that's good. And the next thing I need to bring in are some backlights. So if you see, as you can see, the background is really like super dark. So there's no detail. There's nothing to make me pop out of the background. So I'm basically just, it's actually, I would call this lighting setup good already, but it's just lacking that little punch that a good video needs. So let's bring in some backlights. So I have here just a little lampshade, and I put some gel on top of it, which makes it look like a blue cast, which makes it have like a blue tint to it. And then let's bring in some other lights. I have some other portable lights, so let me just switch this on, and then I'll point this here, and then one more light. Whoa, that's bright. And I'll position it on top of my head like this. And then now I can bring down the whole exposure a little bit to create a little bit more depth using lighting. Whew, it's a little bit hot. There you go. So this is basically what you can achieve with just using different lights. These lights are not even expensive, so you can just basically buy bulbs from a hardware store and then just put in different like plastic thingies, like I don't know what you call them, like plastic folders that we would use for office things. So you would just cut them out and then just basically clamp them or clip them onto the front of the light, which makes it have a different cast to it. So yeah, it's super hot right now. I wish I could turn on the AC, but it's really like gonna ruin my audio. Wait 1 second, let me just grab some coffee. Wow, does it feel good going down? So the next question is from Sheik Abdur Rahman, and he asked about lighting and color grading. As for the first part of your question, I already like addressed it. Like, this is what you can achieve with different lighting. It's about experimenting, and you can just play around with your lighting and you can get something like this. And remember that it doesn't have to be expensive. You can basically just rig up like bulbs from the hardware store and just put them together and just use like different folders in front of it, like plastic folders with different colors. Like you can get a blue one, you can cut it out, clip it in front of a light, and then there you go. And then the next question he has is about color grading. So Sheik Abdurrahman asked about color grading. This is an entirely different beast. I will have to address that in a different video because it's really very difficult to explain through a talking head video like this where I'm just talking to you guys. But one tip is that when you try to set exposure, whenever you're on set and then you're pointing your camera onto the subject, try to first nail the white balance. So this is what a lot of people make mistakes on, like the white balance. Try to make the whites look white and not yellowish, not greenish, because if you ruin the white balance from the start of your editing workflow, you're basically already ruining it even more by trying to correct it in post-production. Because if you're using a camera like a Canon G7X Mark II, the bitrate isn't really that high. So if you keep editing it and try to correct it in post, you're basically going to destroy your footage or whatever footage you got. So here I have another question from Montana Drone, which is my buddy Jeremy. Thank you, Jeremy, for dropping a question. He says that I only have one question, Mark. How did you turn yourself into vapor? That was so cool. Actually, I have a million questions for you, but I'll stick with this first one. It's good to see you healthy and safe. Gee, thanks, Jeremy. Thank you for dropping by and dropping down a comment. For this particular question or comment, I will not be able to answer that through this video, because obviously it's a little bit difficult to do that edit. So if you want to watch it, for you guys who didn't watch that video yet, I'll link up a link here or here. I don't really know, I haven't done this before, so it's gonna be either here or here. So thank you, Jeremy, for dropping by and dropping a question. Maybe you have an easier question for me, Jeremy. Maybe that one I can answer. Maybe you can drop it on this video. Okay, so the last comment that I will be reading is from Ryan Ingleton, my buddy from Australia, the land down under. He says, "Thanks, Mark, you are a legend. I have a few questions, but I need to think of how I can explain it." Come on, Ryan, you could have at least dropped me one question. I don't even know how to go from this comment of yours. But yeah, thank you for commenting at least. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. This was just a quick video addressing the questions that was asked in my previous video. So if you like this video, please do consider subscribing and hitting the like button as well. That would really help me a lot. So yeah, I'm just gonna finish the rest of this coffee and I'll see you guys next time.